Yo, what's good YouTube, man? It's Gary with another Fan TV, man. Back at another video. Like the content of this video, go and smash that like button. Like the content of this channel, go ahead and subscribe, man. Look, so the Ravens win an absolutely crazy game, 37-31 over the LA Rams, improved to 10-3 on the season. Still holding down that #1 spot as of right now. Usually when these games end, y'all, I hop right in front of the camera, set it up, whatever, and get my breakdown. I needed like 30 minutes after this game just to sit down and really process everything that happened and what went on in this crazy ass game. Okay. So first of all, I like to start off with players that got hurt because it's important to I think say that because you gotta look forward to that in the week. What's going on with guys, right? So could be some other people. Only people I really saw was Kyle Hamilton and Devin Duvernay. Now Kyle Hamilton got hurt early in the game, non-contact. It didn't look like anything happened that was serious. He came back, played some more, then sat out again, and then was ruled out for the rest of the game. Okay. But on the sideline, he was still in full uniform. He just wasn't playing. So that gives me some hope that they just wanted to play it safe and that it's not too serious. That's what I'm hoping. All right. Second one, Devin Duvernay. I didn't see what happened to Devin Duvernay, but they said he has a back injury. I think that happened either late first quarter, second quarter, somewhere around there. It was probably the second quarter. And he was ruled out for the rest of the game. Also, something that was very interesting was the fact that the Ravens were rotating tackles on both sides. So, like, Stanley would come out, McCary would come in, Moses would come out, Falele would come in. I don't know if that was injury related or that was just something that they wanted to do. I thought that was strange and interesting as well. Okay, so all right, so that's out the way. Let's talk about the actual game, right? I want to talk about guys that stood out to me. First off, first I want to talk about Odell Beckham, right? There's been a lot of talk about Odell Beckham Jr. this year. A lot of talk about is he the same guy? I mean, and from people like me, I've been saying it, right? Over this last month, I will say, this is the guy who the Ravens paid for. This is why that $18 million, 15, 18, whatever it's going to be, was never an overpay. They weren't paying Odell Beckham to be great in September. They were paying him to be great now. And that's what he did. Ends the game, 4 catches, 97 yards, 1 touchdown. Had 10 targets, so you'd like to see more catches off of 10 targets. But any way you want to slice it, great game for Odell Beckham, right? I honestly, this receiving core I thought was pretty well outside of one issue that we'll talk about a little bit later. But Isaiah Likely, next guy, 5 catches, 83 yards, 1 touchdown. His run after catch ability, the fact that he's a very dynamic, explosive tight end, gives this offense a different element. They still miss Mark Andrews. They desperately miss Mark Andrews, but Isaiah Likely is a very, very talented tight end, okay? That's where I'll leave that at. So Zay Flowers, six catches, 60 yards, touchdown. Big time touchdown at the end of the game to get the Ravens to a 1-point lead, then get the 2 points to Zay Flowers once again, get a 3-point lead. So last but not least, the guy throwing the football, Lamar Jackson. Now Lamar Jackson, the deep ball was hit and miss today, right? But that's how deep balls go. We'll talk about a little bit. Like I said, I'll keep talking about that later. But Lamar Jackson, I thought was really impressive. So 24 for 43, 316, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Also had 11 carries for 70 yards on the ground. So we're talking about almost 400 yards of total offense of Lamar Jackson. So what's that, like 386? So yeah, we're talking about damn near 400 yards of total offense for Lamar Jackson. So those guys really, really stood out to me today. I can't really name anybody on defense. I will say this. I think that Kyle Hamilton has solidified himself as maybe, I say he's the best player on defense. If people don't want to go that far, that's fine. But I would say that he's probably the most important player on defense, right? When they don't have him out there, you could see the difference. It's just certain things that they can't do when Kyle Hamilton is not on the field, right? And that's where it comes down to. So let's start right there, right? So the first quarter for the Ravens, I thought was very, very poor offensively and defensively, right? So the Rams obviously came into this game. They saw something that I have talked about as well. I think dating back to the Cardinals game is that the Ravens are allowing too many people to run the football on them. They allowed the Cardinals to do it. I saw the Bengals do it. This is at the time when the Bengals and Joe Burrow was still healthy, and the Bengals were not running the football at all. They were not a good running football team. They came into Baltimore and ran the ball on the Ravens, right? All right. Now we hear with the Rams, they did the same thing. They started the game off with 9 straight runs, 9 in a row, and got all the way down to the 10-yard line before Sean McVay, for whatever reason, decided to throw the ball 3 straight times. And the Ravens did what they do in pass defense, which was pretty decent on that drive in the red zone, and held the Rams to 3 points, right? The first half, the run defense was inexcusable. Now, they tightened it up in the second half, but The first half, man, it was bad. Kyron Williams ends the game with 25 carries for 114 yards. All right, he's one of the guys that I said look out for in the game preview. They're young guns, right? I talked about him. I talked about Puka Nacua into the game with 5 catches, 84 yards, right? So the young guys for the Rams did their thing, right? Also, I'm not gonna blame it all on the Ravens defense. Matthew Stafford was out there dealing. He played like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That's what he is when he plays. So, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Matthew Stafford is a really, really good football player, really good quarterback. Honestly, he's probably going to get into the Hall of Fame. So, like, he's a Hall of Fame level QB. You know what I mean? So, I'm not going to be totally off base with that. But the Ravens' run defense, they have to figure that out. Okay? Because this is not the first game where a team say, hey, look, you guys do this, the skies coverages, this and that. We're not even giving you a chance to do that. We're just going to run the ball at you. Right? The Ravens play 2 high safeties a lot, which makes them most susceptible to the run. Okay? The D-line has to be better. Your linebackers have to be better. Everything like that has to be better, right? There was a while ago where Ndamukong Suh was talking about he wanted to play for contenders around the NFL. Hey, look, if the Ravens run defense keeps looking like this, they may need to give Ndamukong Suh a call, right? Get him in the middle of that defense, right? I was kind of against going, how the Ravens really need him, this and that. If the run defense keeps acting like this, give Ndamukong Suh a call, all right? It'd be worth it, all right? All right, so Rashad Bateman, right? That's the only thing we got to talk about, okay? So I'm going to do a video talking about Rashad Bateman probably tomorrow, but I will say this, right? In my opinion, the Ravens are not using Rashad Bateman correctly. I don't know who told them that I don't know who told the Ravens that Rashad Bateman was a deep threat, 40, 50 yards down the field type of receiver, but every time I see him being used, that's what he's doing. When they got him after, the multiple deep balls missed, after the interception of Lamar Jackson, to me it was an underthrow, right? Doesn't mean Rashad Bateman couldn't have fought for the ball more, whatever, that's and that. To me, it was an underthrow. Simple as that, all right? But I don't agree with the way he's being used. In the 2-minute drive to end the first half, they used Rashad Bateman out route, in route, 2 routes that was like 10 yards each. He caught them both, looked comfortable doing that. That's his role. I don't know why he was chosen to be the deep ball guy. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about Rashad Bateman on Monday because I could make that a whole 8-10 minute video just talking about that. So we're not even gonna talk about that anymore. But I think they're using him incorrectly. I'm gonna leave it there. All right. So, but this Ravens offense, I will say this positively things that they did today. I love the downfield passing attack. That was one of my keys to this game, right? Throw the ball down the field. Now, it was raining out there. It was a little sloppy as far as that, but the passing attack was still fine in that area, getting the ball down the field. Odell Beckham double moves. It's about time they use that. Lamar Jackson throws a beautiful ball down the field. Now, obviously, Odell has to make an adjustment to it, catches it, rolls in the end zone, touchdown, right? So, to me, that's when the Ravens offense can be at their best, right? When they have a downfield passing attack. This whole side-to-side screen, throw this and that, you don't need to do that, right? They didn't do that with Zay Flowers today, and look what he did. He still had 6 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown, right? He's a good receiver down the field, right? I saw him running a route, I think it was first half. Boom, outside release, fade route, come back curl route, right? Snap off the defender, right? Because he has route running ability. And then he catches the ball, gets up, gets some more yards down the sideline, right? He is a complete receiver. We don't have to use him as some gadget guy. We got to throw him swing passes and screens. We don't have to do that, all right? Use Zay Flowers like a real true receiver. You're going to get good results, right? We saw him on a touchdown. He beats the guy clear across the field, okay? He's a good wide receiver. He's not a gadget guy. Don't have to use him that way, all right? And when the Ravens did call screens today, it did not go well. So let's put the screens in the back pocket for right now. Let's put them in the back pocket. All right. Now, things I did not like about the offense. Keaton Mitchell has 9 carries, 54 yards. Gus Edwards has 6 carries to 15 yards. Okay. Now, it's not the fact that Gus Edwards only has 6 carries, right? People are not going to like it. They're going to make it controversial. Keaton Mitchell right now is the better running back for this team, right? The way the Ravens want to play, the way the Ravens have this offense set up, they need a speed running back, a guy that can get some juice and go break a big play. That's why a guy like J.K. Dobbins I thought was going to have an amazing year in this offense because this offense is for him, right? I'm not going to say it's for him, but his offense fits him, I should say. All right. Gus Edwards is still a very, very talented running back. He can still do a lot of good things, but when you see Keith Mitchell in this offense, it's a completely different speed factor, right? 9 carries is not enough, all right? How many catches did Keith Mitchell have? He had 1. He had 1 catch. I believe it was on the very first drive. It might have been the very first play of the game. It might have been the third down. He caught a pass 8 yards, first down, right? All right, so we're talking about 10 total touches for Keaton Mitchell for a total of 62 yards. So 6.2 yards a touch. He needs to touch the ball more. Simple as that. I don't know why we go through this phase of where we only giving Keaton Mitchell under 15 touches, just like that. I know you want to maybe save him for the playoffs, whatever, but we trying to win games. He's the most explosive running back the team has. Give him the ball. All right. Things I did not like on the other side of the ball, the defense. Marlon Humphrey at the end of the game was very, very poor. I don't know what's going on with the cleats, the slipping, the sliding, but he was all over the place. The Demarcus Robinson catch allowed, he was slipping and sliding. The Cooper Cup one, he just got straight up beat off the line. And then on top of everything, he has a chance for redemption. He has a chance to make it all right. The ball is coming down to him, and he allows Demarcus Robinson to break it up and drops the game-winning interception, right? Now listen, great play by Demarcus Robinson, not giving up on a play, turning to the defensive back, everything like that. Marlon Humphrey, I need you to make that play. I know it's your first game back, because listen, before this last 2-minute drive, I thought Marlon was fine. He was on his guy most of the time. They called him for a bad pass interference call, Puka Nacua, in like the third quarter. I thought that was terrible. He really didn't start playing terribly until that final 2-minute drive of the game. I don't know what happened, but everything went short wire with him on the final 2-minute drive of the game, right? So those two plays, chance to win it, bad, right? Then let's rewind a little bit, right? John Harbaugh, once again, has a very, very bad in-game management situation. He is challenging the fact that Demarcus Robinson caught the touchdown pass, I think it was in the fourth quarter, right? One, you can't challenge that play because all scoring plays are already being reviewed. Two, what are you challenging? I think he said that Demarcus Robinson stepped off the back of the end zone and then came back in. Demarcus Robinson had about 2 yards between him and the end zone. He was between the back of the end zone. He was nowhere near out of bounds. So one, you cost the Ravens a timeout because you don't know the rules of the game, that you can't already challenge a play that's already been reviewed. And two, you don't know what you're challenging, right? I don't know when it comes to John Harbaugh and challenges that's the miscommunication. Maybe it's the team upstairs and it's looking bad on him. I don't know what it is. But when it comes to that in-game management of challenges, it's terrible, right? Then first half, there's the Ravens are driving down the field and they kind of mismanage the clock and only get 3 points at the end of the half when they don't even get a chance to get a touchdown, right? At the end of the half, right? They had a chance to. They was driving. Don't call timeout at a certain time. Let the clock bleed. It was just very, very poor mismanagement. These are the kind of things that I said last week, or no, 2 weeks ago now, that can cost the Ravens when it comes to winning playoff games. You can't have these kind of things happen. All right. Now, I'll end it on a positive note, right? Because, the Ravens did win this game. Tylan Wallace, big time play to end the game on a punt return touchdown to the crib. Honestly, when they put Tylan Wallace back there, I thought, okay, cool guy, safe hands. He's not going to really do anything extraordinary with the ball. I was wrong about that. Great play by him to say, hey, look, I'm taking this one to the crib. We ended the game right here. This goes back to week 1 versus the Jets. I think it was with Bills Jets that ended the game in overtime with a punt return touchdown. So there's been 2 games like that this year. So now this one with the Ravens and the Rams. Duve got out. Tylan Wallace stepped up. It has Duvernay lost his spot. That's what I've seen people say. I don't know about all that. But I will say Tylan Wallace now deserves a shot to see what you could do at punt returner, because I don't know. Sometimes this year Duvernay, he calls too many fair catches. He doesn't look explosive running the ball. I don't know if he's been hurt previously. I don't know. He hasn't like the same punt returner guy outside of that one play, I think, versus the Titans, right? Earlier this year, he got caught by the punter, right? All right, but yeah, man. So I would say that was positive. That was big time. I love also the fact that, listen, Lamar Jackson, his famous offense, got the ball. What was it, like 3.5 minutes left, down by 5, and they needed to score a touchdown. Like, a touchdown was a must, and they drove down the field and scored a touchdown. To me, that's a major thing, right? Because the Ravens really haven't been in that position too much where the offense has to have a touchdown to well, in that case, we thought we might win the game, but defense didn't hold up. But you have to score a touchdown, let's say, to get the lead late in the game, and the offense drove down the field and did it, right? Ty Munkin, I believe, called a decent game. Every time a play call doesn't work, doesn't mean it was a bad play call. I see a lot of people complaining about that. Last week versus the Chargers was a terrible game plan. This week, I like the game plan. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. That's just life. That's how it goes, right? But as far as Ty Munkin, I thought the game plan was good this week, right? They threw the ball down the field. The offensive line play was okay. Lamar Jackson, I love when Lamar Jackson scrambles. He had a lot of time. I would say that the wide receivers need to work on the scramble drill. Because every time Lamar Jackson is scrambling, it's just like nobody else is getting open. That's where they really miss Mark Andrews, right? When Mark Andrews is out there, you can have guys get open. Or you can have somebody get open on a scramble drill, Lamar's going to find them. With these wide receivers right now, with Isaiah Likely right now, that's just not happening. When Lamar's scrambling around looking for somebody to throw the ball to, they're just not getting open, right? So, but I will say Lamar Jackson taking off with the ball when nobody's out there and still showing that he is one of the most dynamic players in the NFL is a great sight to see, right? So, the Ravens win this game 37-31. Like I said, improved to 10-3 on the season. In a game that I knew was going to be tough, right? I expected the Ravens to go over 30 points. I didn't expect the Rams to get 30, but the Rams are a good team, man. They fought all the way through. So give me your thoughts, opinions on the game, and I'll respond to all comments, man. But it's Gabriel. This is Fan TV. I'm out.